Welcome to another Pneuma of Now podcast with your host Richard Blankenship, the triple guru from Kansas, but we're not in Kansas anymore. So in today's special episode upload number 100. So this is the centennial upload. So in this particular discussion, we're going to review what we've done, what we are attempting to do, and where we are conceiving in the imagination of where to go in the future. So thank you for being here. I've been dealing with a whole bunch of interesting, creative, just ADHD brain power. We've been reading a whole bunch of books. We're going to definitely be doing a whole bunch of different book reviews and kind of readings. I'm going to weave together multiple volumes in the next couple episodes. I've been preparing something very special for everybody. So I do hope you enjoy what we have coming in the next few months. But for today, really what we're doing, the reason for our upload today is to break the pattern. We haven't uploaded in a little while. I have been just too inundated with life to deal with it. So we can complain, we can report, we can talk about the excuses, but I don't really have any excuses. Life has been really rough, and it's just, we're moving forward. I have a couple of friends, actually a whole bunch of friends, that are encouraging me to not give up on this channel. So that's really what I'm doing here. Some other channels out in the mix I just am not going to name, but there are some other personalities in the YouTube world that have been inspiring me to continue what I'm doing. They've done a very good job in reporting their own slow, organic growth. Some of them having anywhere between 1 and 200 videos and still can't get over the 1,000 subscriber threshold. So it's at this point in this discussion that I would ask you for help at this point. I share my stuff out, but I don't share it every day. I don't share it every week. I get it out there as I encounter real human beings who might be interested in this material. If you know anyone who would be curious, open-minded, and also research-oriented, because what we're doing here is not necessarily first-grader information. We're trying to push the boundaries of our collective manipulation, our collective domestication, and our collective knowledge. Who are the truth seekers? Where is the truth? Where can you find the truth? And if you found it, would you even recognize the truth? And so that's what we're here to do. We are here at the Luminal Mind channel because luminal minds want to know. Okay? And every luminal mind goes through this period, kind of like Rene Descartes likes to express. I'm just riffing on the free play here, guys, so don't rake me over the coals. I'm paraphrasing everything at this point. But at some point in our lives, we must basically question everything. You know, this whole idea of what is real, what is truth, what is fantasy, what is fabrication, the lies, the deceit, the entire enigma of how information flows from point A to point B. Well, that's what I'm here for. Because although I don't have it all figured out, I do have some of this stuff figured out. And I have a nice, really well-rounded piece of information that we're trying to propagate into the world. And so in my 100th episode, we're going to review what we've done, where we are, and where we're going. So I welcome everybody, the new subscribers. I welcome the old listeners, and I welcome your assistance. I don't know how to get this stuff to populate or to travel or to propagate. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and break the mold and crack the sky on 2024. I missed my target of my first upload this year for February, and so here it is March 2nd, and I'm kicking myself for not getting my own gears into motion. One of my new mantras is do be do. So through the do and through the being, through the action is the do and the being is the be. Do be do. Most of us, including myself, fail to self-actualize and get into motion. We fail to identify the small goals. We fail to hit our targets. We fail to circle a date on the calendar. Okay? And so I have a good time listening to my podcasts. I have a good time researching and preparing. I've been reviewing what I've done. I've been looking at my channel, and in my mind, it looks pretty good. So I hope everybody does enjoy what I do here. And we're going to just kind of move into a more conversational tone. I am going to have a few things to read for you today. But for the time being, welcome to 100 YouTube videos. And I'm still working on my first 1,000 subscribers. So thank you, and we'll be back in just a few moments. You know how we like to do here. We're going to do a little quick musical break, and we will be right back for the finale, the meat of the episode.
I'm not trying to cozy up on you. I just think this is the best place to shoot from. So if I bother you, just let me know.
Like a
Okay, so we're back here with the Pneuma of Now podcast. We're basically going to talk about what we've done in the last few years, what we're trying to accomplish with this channel. And so really what I'm trying to do here in the entire realm of what I do, is create and reveal kind of a rich tapestry of themes, a rich tapestry of subjects. And these subjects, more likely than not, kind of cater to a highly intellectual or spiritually curious individual. So, as far as the audience is concerned, if you love thinking about science, mathematics, so science is the art of observation. The only reason that science exists is because natural law follows a pattern. The only reason science exists is because you're supposed to be able to reproduce your experiments and insights. Therefore, there is something, okay? There is a pattern, a knowing, and a consistency. The universe is not holographic, okay? So a lot of what I say here from a philosophical perspective, from a metaphysical perspective, it goes against the grain, okay? So again, what we do here is we push the boundaries of normal thought, of the consensus modality. We're taking things further than you may have been used to hearing. And if my material challenges you, then I'm doing something right. The beauty of having YouTube is that you can come back and listen again and again and again. Okay? So we give this information to the world. We share our music with the world. In my perspective, I've recorded all kinds of music. I've always given it away for free. If you would love to purchase that music, we can have a discussion. We do have CDs available, but these bands no longer exist. This is music that is no longer in print, but we do have the music out there for inspiration because music is a significant part of my channel. Now, we're not always going to talk about music. Really, a significant portion of what I do here is focused on the Tetryonic material as developed by Kelvin Abraham. This is a new quantum mechanics. If you have any questions about that, we've got 99 other videos, not quite everything, but at least half of those videos are probably a significant portion of Tetryonic related materials. And so when I say Tetryonics, I speak of this notion that physical, natural laws, spiritual laws, and the idea that mathematics can explain those laws, we have a new geometry. And as a result of that new geometry, we have a re-enunciation. We are actually trying to explain to people who think that they understand what's happening, and we're giving them a new framework, a new mental model, a new physical model, and it does bridge the worlds between spiritual and material. So if Western science has failed, it has failed in identifying what is the immaterial. Science wants to focus on the physical, the material. If you can hold it, weigh it, count it, and measure it, we can create a understanding. We can develop an understanding on how all of those natural laws come together. So in Tetryonics, we have a Planck unit of triangle. It is a single triangle, okay? And we've got a video here. Let's see. The Planck unit would give you that. We've got the key points upload, and we have many discussions with the author of Tetryonics himself. I gave presentations about Tetryonics at the Tesla Tech Extraordinary Conference in 2016 And I did it again a second time in 2023. So what my channel hopes to do here is bridge the gap between science and philosophy. So I have other titles here called The Prologue on Science and Philosophy. We have a video called Philosophy via Geometry. We've got a geometrical grammar on display, and we invite others into this deep dive. These disciplines intersect with one another, but there are gatekeepers who want to have you think a certain way, and things that I present on my channel would have you think a different way. And I come back to that question I asked in the intro. If the truth was presented to you, would you even recognize it? Another part of my channel here is mystical insights. So my mystical insights, I have termed a new philosophy or a new word. Luminal, not mystical, not mysticism, lucidicism. So my word here is lucidicism. Lucid, lumens, beyond the liminal. So liminal is a new word that's kind of come into popular use over recent years. Liminal, L-I-M-I-N-A-L, liminal. That is a threshold. That is a boundary condition. So the best example that I can actually kind of give on liminal, I've got two. Let's see. The first example would be the civilian versus military. The liminal threshold is boot camp. Before boot camp, you're a civilian, and after boot camp, you've crossed the threshold and you are now a military, pretty much brainwashed individual. Now, I'm not here to talk about all that, but the liminal space is all about transitions. Can we move from point A to point B? Okay, in 2023, our lives are full of transitions. If you don't learn how to navigate those transitions, if you don't learn how to navigate and get through the liminal spaces, you're never going to land on the luminal landing strip. So my word is luminal. That relates to lumens. That relates to illumination. It relates to the luminal landing strip, the other side of the liminal space. So beyond the transition, we are going to actually land on fertile ground. And the information I present on my channel is fertile ground. You can look at it, you can soak it up, you can roll it around your neurons. Like I like to say, you can send a probe into the inner recesses of your mind. You can send a probe and tickle your neurons. And when you send that probe, you need to kind of think of another topic here called echo. The probe into your mind is an echo. You need to wait for your probing to echo and reverberate a response. And so the other aspect of this channel is going to be things like personal development and consciousness expansion practices, or just discussions in general. One of my videos here is The Power in You, the Discovery Academy with Reverend Lee Wolak. I would invite everybody to review that, look at that. This is a Science of Mind Reverend Lee. You can find his information on YouTube. He is readily available in the social media spheres. We also do an 7 a.m. meditation breathwork session every single day. And Reverend Lee is there to assist us in our just greater awareness, our greater self-love. So basically, one of his mottos, Reverend Lee Wolak with the Agape Spiritual Center in, Fort Worth, Texas, or that area. So this is an online community that I've participated in for quite some time. You'll hear me talk about Reverend Lee from time to time. A lot of what I do here is regurgitate, reflect, and echo back some of the insights that he has helped me with in that community. It's just amazing. It is based on Science of Mind Principles, which is a book written by Ernest Holmes in the early 1900s. I don't have all the exact data. I should know more about that, but I'm just riffing on the free play today, ladies and gentlemen. So we're having fun on today's 100th episode, simply reviewing some of the things we've done here. So, Reverend Lee is going to really help us to center into a greater awareness. He teaches a really amazing course on values. And, when people talk about the word values, sometimes you might not even exactly know what that means, but he has a values workshop that I highly recommend. I took that workshop a couple years ago, and I read my values almost every single week. I did start off reading it every single day. Probably need to get back into that a little bit more. But basically what I learned in that values discourse with him was basically it's 13 questions. You answer 3 different kind of answers per question. So you end up with 39 answers, and then you rate them and organize them according to your priorities. And so by the end of the session, you have your own values, and everybody else has their own. You can work to upgrade the language. There's homework assignments. But what I learned personally is that the study of natural law is really important to me. Just the idea that we can have an opportunity to figure things out, to replicate our experiments, to create almost a spiritual science and a real physical science. A spiritual and a physical. I'm trying to bridge those gaps in these discussions, and I do it in a way that you're not going to hear anywhere else. And so the novelty of what I present is just something that excites me, but I want to make it very clear I have not arrived at these understandings, these luminal-minded thoughts all by myself. Everything I do here is community-oriented, and I consider many of you out there in my soul tribe, even though you might not even know it. I get inspiration from any number of people who have already passed away. I celebrate authors more than I celebrate athletes, and that's just who I am. I'd rather read a book than watch a football game. Burnt out on sports as a young child, or basically towards my junior year of high school, after what felt like a century of playing music. I mean, not playing music, playing sports and doing things of that nature. And then I shifted gears into music. So, music and creativity is another really core aspect of this channel. I try to do some artwork from time to time. I'm lucky if I do 2 or 3 pieces of art that I'm happy with every year. So that's something I'm looking to get into more and more, and I'll be sharing more of that. But as far as the personal development space, I'm just kind of addicted to these self-help books, and it's time to put up or shut up. I've got all these really amazing concepts, wisdom from the ages, and now it's time to actually start embodying them. And so, in my mid 40s, I'm 43, almost 44 years old. I'm not shy about that. I have a youthful attitude. I feel like I'm 19 years old, 22 years old, 24. I mean, I feel like a young whippersnapper. But what we're going to really talk about here in the few months in front of us here in 2024, it's going to be some success principles. I'm going to really do some presentations. Always going to be doing some readings on the channel. I probably have 3 or 4 things I'm going to be reading here in the next month, hopefully in March. So really, I guess I'm going to have to reframe my commitment here and just try to promise 1 or even 2 substantial uploads every month for the year 2024. So we're looking, if I can get anywhere near 20 to 24 uploads by the end of the year, I think I'll be doing a good job. because behind the scenes here, preparing these episodes, it does take me time to kind of organize my thoughts. The innovative aspect, the technological aspect, when we go into the deep dives, there's going to be some technological implications. There's going to be some things on the horizon that I'm going to need some team members to help me kind of organize. And so it's really at this point that I'm always continuing to just build community, find some organic growth. Not everybody that comes to this channel is going to really understand what I'm doing until you've spent some time with me and spent some time with the other people on the channel. Kelvin Abraham, I've got his interviews here. Very, very precious interviews for me. Have a lot of fun exploring his theory with him. Another amazing interview in my mind is the Laurel Erica, the secret spells of the English language. Just a total inspiration. A modern day Mother Goose. She does some amazing tricks with language. She understands the creative impetus behind the words and how to express ourselves. That interview is on my channel. And then a huge shout out to Transforming the Darkness. Reagan and I did an interview. I look forward to maybe in the future getting her back on the show. I'm not sure how many interviews I'm really going to be doing on this channel, but I would be totally open to a few more podcast discussion style frameworks and deliveries. I have had some struggle in my own creativity with that, but I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself and be vulnerable in that way. But for now, I've just been focusing on my voice, my own personal ability to explain, articulate, and really inspire other people to realize there is a larger horizon. I have to remind myself of that every day. I do battle with myself every single day. So any of the advice or any of the wisdom I put forth on this channel, it's basically an echo chamber for myself to remember what I'm truly trying to create here. This whole idea of creative visualization and creating a vision for your life, a design for your life. One of the bumper sticker phrases that I have is, if you don't design your life, somebody else will do it for you. And then another one is, if you don't know which harbor you seek, any wind is the correct wind. And so there's all these rabbit holes, there's all these conspiracy theories, there's all this stuff that's going to distract you. And really, right now, what I'm doing is showing that I'm gaining control over those distractions one day at a time. I am setting larger and larger goals. I'm being creative in envisioning a tapestry of connection in my life that is going to work for me. Life on Earth has been pretty difficult. We don't have time to talk about all those difficulties, but I will share that vulnerable aspect of myself with you in time as it's relevant to the discussion at hand. And so really, there's other videos on my channel where I just read things from Emma Curtis Hopkins. Authors like Sir Oliver Lodge is on here. Lots of quotes from philosophers of the ages. And I'm just going to continue that. I do have a library of about 12 to 1,300 books, and I've got a stack of books within a foot of me in every direction. I can turn a page in any book in front of me and gain wisdom and insight, and I'm going to do a lot of that here. The other thing I'm looking at is as far as forward motion. I'm going to have some PDF downloads available with some episodes for free. And then there are going to be some uploads I'm going to provide for $5, $10, $20, and even up to $50 for some content that I've been collecting over the last 12, 15 years of my life. Some of the material is not necessarily my own. Some of the material are things that I can no longer find, research. There was never an author to begin with. And so some of the things I've collected and archived over the years, I don't know where it came from. I even read some of the things I did 12 years ago, and I don't even recognize the writing. And I have over 25 million words in the Luminal Mind archive. Okay, my Luminal Mind archive. Words that I've written, thoughts that I've read, things I've copied and edited, version 1, version 2. We have a cool document that we always provide for free. It's the Content Cores document. It's kind of in alignment with the Discovery Academy here. I have a pen pal in the UK. His name is Trine. Shout out to Trine for just being super amazing idea man, ideation, encouragement. You know, it takes, he reminds me that if we want to change our lives, it takes guts, you know, and I want to talk about how fortune favors the bold, okay? And we're going to have a discussion here in the coming months. It's going to be a spiritual attainment mastery reading, and it's going to be in probably 2, 3, or even 4 parts. Another thing on the horizon. So in this episode, I did just want to thank everybody for being here for so long. I do have a couple new subscribers here and there, and we're just asking for your support. Just share it out. You know, at this point, every single thing we're doing is for free, but I do have plans to make some offers, some PDF downloads, some courses. I've been working on a dream coaching course that helps people gain extra awareness in their dream states. I've been working on that for like 4 years. It's something I need to just finish. But yeah, all these things about gaining deeper lucidity, deeper awareness of who we are, what we're trying to create, and really learning in 2024 to acknowledge the distractions, every single one of them. And it's okay to get lost in the distraction, but it's not okay to just stay there. You know, I'm as guilty of this as anybody else. You know, making my 100th episode, I've been thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. At some point, you just gotta hit the record button. So that's exactly what I did for everybody today. I really do appreciate you. I love each and every one of you. Reagan with Transforming the Darkness. Reverend Lee Wolak with Agape Spiritual Living. We've got Laurel Erica with Word Magic. We have Kelvin Abraham with his Tetryonics. And these are just some of the things we've done. And we've got much, much more in front of us. So thank you again for being here. And as always, I leave you with one thought and one thought alone. Deep peace in the Pneuma of now.